welcome to another video. And today I'm going to do something a little different. I have put up a build, or a part list, of a great PC for about, I would say like $760-ish. Well, let's get into it, why don't we? The first thing, we'll go to PC part list, PC part picker, and this is my components that I've picked here. You'll get an SSD and a hard drive, 16 gigs of RAM, the latest and greatest i5, the latest and greatest mid-range card, a decent decent power supply and all that. Not bad. And it totals up to $761.57. So after all these mail-in rebates, look at, you're saving $100 off this. That's crazy. It's mostly the, I think it's the case and the card and the power supply. Oh, and the motherboard. Like, everything's on sale. I guess it's because it's Cyber Mondays right around the corner. But let's get into our, and I'll show you each and every part from what website you're getting it from. And our first thing here is the i5 6600K with a base clock at 3.5 gigahertz. You cannot beat it for the price. You really, when you're gaming, unless you're doing like a Titan X or two 1080s, I don't think you need an i7. I think the i5 6600K would do very well, and you could probably do some good video editing with this. It is an unlocked CPU, so we are expected to overclock this thing a tad bit to get your extra performance out of it. It's very good. It's selling for $220, and that's after that's after a rebate, because you're actually saving $75 apparently. But why would you sell it for $300? Isn't that like the 6700K price? So that's not worth it at that point. But let's get into our next part. For cooling, I have decided to go with the most basic cooler there ever is. The Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. And well, I don't know, it's supposed to be like $20. The prices went up a little bit. They're selling it for like $30 now, but it's a very, very good cooler for the price that you're getting it from. And this has some overclocking headroom too, which is what we plan on doing in the system, is doing a little overclock to get that extra performance. And oh yeah, well, let's get to our motherboard. For the motherboard, I have decided to go with the AS ROC Z170 Pro 4S. It's an LG 1151, which is 6th gen. It has HDMI, SATA. I mean, HDMI ain't gonna matter because you're not going to use integrated graphics on the CPU. You're going to be using an actual GPU. 6 gigabytes per second data transfer speeds. It has USB 3.0, which is very good. It's not that bad, and it does support SLI if you ever want to do that. It has 3 PCI Express X1 slots, which you could put in. What things you could put in now? You can put like a capture card. You could put another, like you could put an audio card in it. You can get a USB extender, or you put it in, and it's like 4 3.0 USB ports or whatever. If you want to do that, there's many other more possibilities. You could put whatever you want. And then, you know, the PCI Express X16 slots and X8 slots, that's where the graphics card goes. And now let's get into our RAM. For our memory, I have decided to go with 2 8 gigs to be 16 gigabytes total. 2 A8-pin DDR4. It's 2133. That's okay. I mean, you don't really need 3000 megahertz RAM. You really don't, especially for if you're gaming, which is what this PC is meant to do. You will never ever need that fast of RAM, and you don't need any more than 16 gigs to play any game. 8 gigs is starting to be a little short now these days, but whatever. Let's get into our next part. To hold your Steam library in any other game that you have, we went with a choice that every person will go with: the Western Digital 1TB blue 7200 RPM hard drive. And 1TB is plenty enough to hold all your games, even if each one is 60 gigabytes. GTA 5. Anyways, it's really not bad, but, and you're also you're gonna be getting an SSD, which I'll show you in a minute here. But it's hard drive. It's a 3.5 inch, which is what a hard drive's usual size is. 1 terabyte. It has 64 megabytes of cache, which is, I mean, it's good for a hard drive, but it's pretty bad for an SSD. Now let's get to the SSD. To put maybe a game or two and Windows, we have a 120 gig SSD. It's a 2.5 inch, meaning you can also go in a laptop. It's sized, and I mean, really any solid state drive is good. It's better than a hard drive, of course. Boot up speeds, shutdown speeds, programs will open up like that, and it's not that bad of a hard drive for the price that you're paying for it. $40 for 120 gig ain't bad. Not bad at all. And like if you ever wanted to upgrade, they make 240 gigs, or you can add another 120 gig to put other stuff like games or whatever on it. And now let's get into the best part to me, I think, in this entire system. The graphics card is the Asus GeForce GTX 1060 dual fans. It's a very good card here. It has pretty much the same ports that any other 1060 would have, except I like this one because it has 2 HDMIs and 2 display ports. The average 1060 would only have a single HDMI with 3 display ports, and they always have the DVI. Eventually they'll get rid of that at some point, I betcha. But not bad of a card. Looks pretty good. It looks really good, man. For the price, it's not bad. And you're actually gonna pay $230 after a $30 rebate. So you are saving so much. You are saving practically $50 on this card, which is a very good deal, especially for Cyber Monday here coming up soon. And now let's get into our case. Case doesn't have to be pretty, but a case is a case. The case that we chose is a Rosewill case. It's a mid ATX tower. It's meant for gaming. Supports up to 400mm long cards. So you can put like the most extreme 3 fan card in it, which I think 3 fans is overkill unless you really want to overclock it, but I don't think overclocking on cards don't do as much as they do on a CPU, but still. The case is not bad at all. It's it says it comes with 2 fans pre-installed. The front has a 120mm fan, and the rear has the same 120mm fan. So at least it has more than 1 fan, because if it only had 1 fan, you'd have to add it. But you are paying $40 for the case, and it's not a bad deal. And it has a window, so you could see your beautiful 6700K and your 1060, you know. Not bad at all, not bad. And now, let's get into our power supply, why don't we? For our power, I have chosen the Corsair CX550M. It's a great deal for the price. You're paying 54 bucks, but that's not all. You're also saving 25 bucks if you buy it this weekend, which is the 11th, or no, the 25th, 26th, and 27th of November, which is the weekend that I'm doing this in. As long as you get it in that time, you can get a $20 rebate and actually only pay $35. Paying $35 for a 550 watt power supply is a really good deal. You cannot beat that. And now, let's get into our final component of this computer. And if you're an old schooler and if you want a DVD drive that can also burn, this is what you want. Because I know a lot of people don't use these anymore, but you never know if you want to burn like Windows or an ISO file on a disk and it'd be like, oh, I don't have a disc player. Well, now you do. It's so cheap. $14. How cheaper do you want it? I'm pretty sure these used to be a lot expensive. Used to be expensive back in the day, and now they're dirt cheap, literally. But that's all I have to show for today, and it's a very good deal for the price that you're paying. And I'll see you guys next time, and a goodbye.